Buick lacrosse leaking power steering fluid. I noticed there was no ATF in the transmission. It was very low, shifting funny. Took care of that, fixed that problem. And we have a shock absorber actuator code. We're gonna make sure we have power out of the connector and see if it responds to my command on the auto and figure out what's wrong with it. Okay, here we are at the Buick. It was leaking power steering fluid from here, and I tried to bleed it. That didn't help. So then I noticed that it was overfilled way too much, and you know, you got to fill it up to the line, you know, max or minimum. If you don't, then you won't have any room for expansion, just like your cooling system. You know, you fill it up to the indicator, and no more, no less. And as you'll notice that the fluid will rise and it will drop, you know, leave room for expansion. So we have an actuator cord on the shock. We're gonna go ahead and hook up the auto, lift this vehicle up, get the wheel out, and check for power and ground at the connector. Make sure that the circuit is fine. If everything checks out, then we'll be replacing the sensor. There's fluid everywhere. Clean the valve cover back here. So a few sensors that go into the head. I wiped down the undercarriage, sprayed down the crank pulley. There was oil all over the timing cover. Just wanted to clean it up and see where this leak was coming from, get a good look. But it's coming from here, like I said. So it was overfilled. That's the fix. But let's get to it. Okay, here we are. Right front shock absorber. Let's activate it. See if we get any changes. We have 12.2 volts, 5 volt references there. All right, let's increase it. 200 milliamps, we are getting nothing. All right. So let's go to the left one. So that way I have an idea of what it's supposed to look like, how much it's going to increase. And here we go. See, it's responding. All right. So now what I'm going to do is remove the wheel, jack it up first, remove the wheel, probe the back connector, see if we're getting any power, make sure the circuit's fine. And if, you know, maybe it's a bad connection, but whatever, if it's not, then we'll replace the sensor, you know. But let's use this tool, see if we can get good connection. Maybe it's open somewhere, you know, repair it and then retest it. Okay, so here I am. Pushing that tab, this slides up. I wanted to see what it looked like, see if this unplugs, but no, that's a unit. All this is one unit. The connector's back here, and it's got multiple pins. It's got 2, 4, 6. It's got 7 pins. Well, I don't have a wiring diagram, so I'm going to probe these, test them, see what we have and where, and I'm going to activate the actuator and see which pins, you know, change in voltage. And if it looks normal, then I'm going to replace the sensor. All right. Okay, that's a ground. Got voltage there. We have voltage there. Is there a pin in there? It sure is. Okay. No pin in there. this one. Okay. Then neighbor pin right next to it. It'll fluctuate a little more often, just like the other one. Okay. 11.4. That's ground. 3 volts, just like the other one. Ground, same spot. All right. There's our 5-volt reference. Okay. And here's this one. Yep. Look for that signal. All right, let's see. Okay, next one. All right. So there you have it. Both sides are functioning exactly the same. You know, comparing it to a working sensor and a working circuit, they're functioning identical. So that lets me know that the circuit over there on the other side, right passenger side, is working just fine. It's gonna be the sensor. So let's go ahead and order this piece and get this car out of here. After further inspecting it, okay, we have 3 wires coming out of this. One is going to this part right here, right? Another is going to the wheel speed sensor, and then the third one goes to this little device here. Okay. Now, this doesn't look like you can service it or replace it. It appears to be a part of the strut itself. So I'm gonna do some research, see if we can find a strut and if it comes with, you know, this little gadget here, which it should, because I'm not gonna sit here and pry on it, mess it up, you know, but that does not come off. So it will be a part of the assembly. Now all we have to do is locate one, and that's a fix. What's up, everybody? So you remember that unit that I thought was one assembly? It's not. I went back out there because I wasn't satisfied with the thought of all those sensors bunched up into one loom, you know. So I went back out there, jacked up the car, and pried on it a bit. These pins right here, this folds and holds the connector on there. And I just took a look at it, figured it out, pry these back, pull the sensors out. I tested the harness. So it's what I wanted to do. I would have done it, but I believed that, you know, I couldn't, because I thought that this was one unit, you know, that it was this harness was attached permanently to the sensors, which is not the case. And I'm glad I went back out there, because that I wasn't satisfied with that idea, that thought. So I got it out. I tested the harness, all right, and the harness failed. There's an open on the harness, and I'll show you how to test for that later. Okay, so I got it hooked up to one of the pins. I'm gonna hook this up to one of my leads on my multimeter. Boom. I'm gonna put it on continuity. All right. And now we test the harness. Okay, there it is. All right, so it should. Oh, that's my bad. Wrong setting. There we go. Continuity. Okay, where's that damn connector? Oh. Are you shitting me? Already? Already found it. Right, I said it was the one to the left was the actuator, right? And that's where we're at. Okay, we got a slow response on the speed sensor. Okay, it's bottom right. All right, well, that's making contact. Gotta make sure it's not touching the other one. All right, boom. Okay, it's hooked up. No continuity. Let's try it again. No continuity on that pin right there. All right. The harness. It's not the sensor, it's the harness. Trying to make sure I'm on that clip. Let's see. Test the next one next to it. Boom. Okay. Let's test this one. Alright, we have nothing. Nothing any fucking where. Okay, let's test the other ones. And that way we'll make sure. I said, look at that one. It's the one to the left, right? Go back on the one to the left. Yep, boom. Alright. So let's go test this bad boy here. Boom. Alright. This one has 3 pins. We'll test that one. Bam. Okay. And now we'll test that one. Okay. Alright, those 3 are working. Let's test this is the speed sensor. Bam. And let's test that one. Okay. All the pins are working except for that one right there. Alright, so after cleaning up the connector and the pins, there's a lot of corrosion in there. I got continuity. Now we're gonna install the harness, recheck it with the auto, and hopefully that's a fix. Suspension, 6 volts. Right, let's pause it right there. Okay, let's go to suspension. I unplugged a bunch of stuff, so it's gonna shoot trouble. It's gonna throw trouble codes. Let's go to active test. Let's go to right shock absorber. I'm nervous. Look at that. We are back in effect. That definitely took care of this problem. I hope you guys enjoy the journey with me. It was definitely a good one here. All right. Now, let's go ahead and do my man a favor, okay? Let's see. I know that he's not concerned about everything. I get it. What do we have in the ECU? No, right here, give me some. Catalyst system, low efficiency, back 2, AC refrigerant, sensor low voltage. That's. Let's see if these will go away. Go back. Q erase, and we will see what comes back. ECU, no faults. We did have a low voltage situation that I wasn't around for. A lot of vehicles come in like that with a whole bunch of codes. When the computer gets low voltage, right before it dies, it throws a bunch of codes, and that's normal. Clearing them usually go away, makes them go away. And all we were left with is the BCM has some issues. Let's see what it is. All right. Okay. We'll document this. If he wants to take care of this in the future, we sure can. This is a fix, man. All right. Till next time.